We welcome you in to the Small Ball Podcast alongside our great producer, Andy, Christian Dennis, Trevor Micklin. I'm Scott Ayers. And guys, the NBA season, it's back.
It feels so good to finally be able to watch basketball after us spending the entire summer just talking about when basketball is coming back.
That is what our summer consisted of. Is like, dude, I can't wait to watch Ben Simmons take on the Charlotte Hornets. What we were doing before the show, watching a Brooklyn Nets versus Charlotte Hornets game. Basketball's back.
Basketball's so back.
I was trying to think in my brain what that would be compared to in the NFL, and it's I was like, this is like watching the Panthers play the Bears.
Yeah,
and loving it.
And loving it.
Having so much fun. Scary Terry.
I'm like, oh, more Scary Terry.
Yeah,
it's
need
spooky
it.
season.
Yeah, it is spooky season, and
it's Halloween.
Oh, it's Halloween.
Hey.
Oh, we didn't wear costumes for the episode.
Wait. Should we pause
Trevor.
the episode?
Should we?
Trevor, go get them. The shirts. Trevor,
on,
you
Trevor.
have to.
That's not a Halloween costume.
No, Trevor.
No, hold on. Pause. That's not a Halloween costume.
No, don't pause. Keep it rolling.
No, keep it rolling. This is
Trevor.
We're podcasting right now.
We're podcasting. Trevor got 3 shirts in the... Actually, I shouldn't say Trevor. The Small Ball Podcast got 3 Oktoberfest shirts. Trevor,
Those aren't Halloween costumes. Those aren't good enough to be
Trevor,
it won't make sense.
Trevor, if there was a time to wear them, now is the time. At least let's get them for the show.
Dude.
Please, do you know where they are?
No.
They're in your room. Trevor, go get them.
These are so dumb, dude.
Please.
This is so
It's
dumb.
great podcasting. Trevor's going to go get Oktoberfest shirts. And
Trevor's mom sent us some Oktoberfest shirts. Trevor deep down loves them, so
he loves them. Thank you, Mrs. Mickulin. What's hilarious is they weren't titled to Trevor or any of us in this house. They were for the Small Ball Podcast.
so that means we have to wear them on the show.
We have to wear them. Trevor's bringing them in now. Look at this. Oh, do you want me to wear this one? Yeah. I mean, look at these.
Wow.
Look at these. How am I going to do this? I'm holding it up.
This is not what I was expecting.
These are so stupid.
I love these.
We've got to wear it.
Yeah, no, Trevor, we got to wear this, man.
We got to wear it. This is good podcasting.
This is to make your mom proud.
For anyone listening, the mics are going to go down because we're putting on these Oktoberfest shirts in honor of Halloween and to honor Miss Mickulin, who's still with us, but she just sent us a shirt, so we want to honor her.
This is really comfortable, actually.
You can have it.
Really?
Yeah. You look ridiculous.
No, I look awesome. This is so sick. It's my new favorite shirt. I might wear this tomorrow. Wow, Scott, that
To honor Halloween.
looks great on you, man.
I feel like this is really nice. I mean, look, it's showing my chest hair on here.
Should we
Happy Halloween.
The whole episode just talking a German accent? Das Small Ball.
I think that Zion is good.
Das war Mo Wagner.
The Deutschland.
Oh, this is
gosh.
nice. This feels good. It's our Halloween episode.
Yeah. All right, let's go.
Let's talk about. Well, overreactions, underreactions. Trevor.
Yeah. So
you made a list.
This time of year, there's a lot of hot takes going out there. There's a lot of reactions, some of which are overreactions, some of which are perfect reactions for what we're seeing. So we're going to do NBA's overreaction or perfect reaction. You guys can take turns answering. All right.
Okay.
Who wants to go first?
Do you want to ever answer these?
No, because I created them.
Okay.
If you guys want me to, I
just want you to feel more included.
I'll
This
I'll
is
be
a-
included.
this
You don't
is
got to
a-
worry about me.
this-
I'll be fine.
Maybe Scott and I will throw out one to you every once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If
you guys
we
can throw one.
And
to me.
then we'll do one for Andy at some point.
Okay, he doesn't have a mic today, but
Oh, he doesn't have a mic?
No.
He looks very handsome behind
Okay.
the camera.
he does. Here we go. First one. The Lakers are buns.
That is the perfect reaction.
All right, let's hear it. Talk to us.
The Lakers, I think, are buns. because they're just missing some pieces. You know, you can only go as far as LeBron can on this team. And as great as LeBron is, he's 38 and he should not be your main guy. Anthony Davis has had moments where he's looked really good and he's played to his level, but then they're just missing another guy. And their third best player, allegedly, Austin Reeves, has been terrible. He's a liability on defense, and they just don't have another guy that can step up. D'Lo, I'm not a big D'Lo. Trevor, you're a big D'Lo fan.
I like D'Lo.
And D'Lo is just too inconsistent.
He's been bad.
You can't rely on him. And that's another reason why he's been tossed around to other teams, is because he's just not consistent enough to remain a solid role.
Yeah, I definitely want to just second what Christian has said too. And I do have a lot I want to say as well. The Lakers had the biggest night to start their year. They had said they had heard all the Nuggets talking. Anthony Davis and LeBron kind of go on this tour. You see all these Lakers fans going nuts. What does Anthony Davis do in the second half against the Nuggets? He scores 2 points. In the Lakers, for them to be successful, Anthony Davis has to be the best player, and he doesn't play like it. He plays like he's the second best player on that team. LeBron's going to only play 28 minutes a night most nights. So you're going to have to get production from other guys. The problem is you're looking now at guys who were signed on vet minimums, and Lakers Twitter wanted you to believe, and the media wanted you to believe these guys were good. We're talking about Christian Wood, Jackson Hayes. Gabe Vincent didn't sign a minimum, but he did kind of go on a little Cinderella run as well. He's been bad. Christian Wood and Jackson Hayes are not good backup bigs. They're at the very best serviceable, and that's it. And I love a good serviceable big. Kelly Olynyk, shout out.
Shout him out.
But he's a great serviceable big. They're bad serviceable bigs.
And one thing that like Andy and I talked about earlier today is that they have no consistency within their organization when it comes to players. Every deadline and every offseason, they've just acquired new players. They've traded half their team away to get new guys, and then they look good for, you know, the however many games left in the season, and then people are like, oh, are the Lakers actually good? And like, we have to look back at what they did in the playoffs last year. They played a Memphis Grizzlies team that was missing Steven Adams and had a hurt jaw, and then they went and played a Warriors team that was already beat up and tired from their first round. So I think the way that their season, their playoff, like,
yeah, it makes sense what you're saying.
Yeah, they just lined up to where it was, you know, an easy in for them.
Yeah, so 1 and 2 start. I think that those are kind of valid. I would assume and lean more towards they're a better team than they've shown. So
I will say one thing: if they do get to the playoffs, I would once again be afraid of the Lakers, because LeBron James, once he gets to the playoffs, it's like, oh, okay, we're playing LeBron James, and that's where it's like, that's scary, regardless if he's 50.
And the refs are always going to be on their side.
That's a real thing. Like, LA and the refs, like, they're going to get more calls in a series. That's just how it's going to go.
Right. All right, no more L word talk the rest of the pod.
No,
Agreed?
F the L words.
Yep. Okay, next one. All right, he's looked good. He's had a few shining moments. Chet Holmgren, all right? Is Chet an all-NBA talent? Or, sorry, I'm saying that wrong. Chet is an all-NBA talent.
Not yet. So I would say that's a bit of an overreaction. And you have to think...
Well, that's not the question right now. Chet is an all-NBA talent. Chet will be an all-NBA talent. I struggled with that one. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah, then I think that's a fair assumption. That won't happen, though, for probably 5-6 years. And the reason why I say that, or do you want me to say anything else? I feel like you've got Jokic, you've got Embiid, you've got Sabonis, you've got Wemby. He's got a lot of guys that he's going to have to essentially compete for that all-NBA level talent with. That's not to say he can't be an all-star, but all-NBA means you're top 3 at your position.
Right.
I don't see that while Embiid and Jokic and Wemby are all in the league, plus Sabonis, plus Bam. So it will be a while, but I do think once we're looking at 4, 5, 6 seasons in to OKC, that's when I think we will see Chet Holmgren become an All-NBA talent.
Yeah, I mean, the question is basically like what we're seeing right now. He's shown a lot of talent. Can he be an All-NBA talent? The answer of yes is awesome, regardless of when it is. If the answer is yes, then, dude, they struck gold with Chet. So that's awesome to hear. There's no need to caveat or whatever, like sugarcoat anything. That's a good answer.
Yeah, I think he is. I like your answer, Scott. And I think, too, is he kind of has the media behind him. Like, the media loves Chet.
Right.
People love talking about Chet, and they love talking about Wemby. They're always going to be paired together because their rookie season is technically the same year. And they both kind of are like the same player. It's just Wemby's taller.
Yeah, exactly. And I definitely don't want to discredit Chet because defensively, he's going to win most nights. I think there's maybe a couple bigs that will have their way with him in the paint, at least for the first couple years. But he is a great defensive centerpiece. And then on the offensive end, he can stretch the floor. He's not someone who's just going to try to bang down low. He's got a great outside shot. So he has a lot of the intangibles that make up an All-NBA player, which makes me think that he will be one in the future.
Good stuff. All right, back to you for this one. You specifically requested to talk about this guy. He's looked really good. Second pick in the draft. Brandon Miller. He's looked good. He's had, some solid moments. Brandon Miller was a great draft pick. Overreaction or perfect reaction?
I would say that's an overreaction. I haven't seen enough yet. I think anything this early in the season about just about any pick will feel like an overreaction because here's the thing. Scoot Henderson, which the Hornets got a lot of criticism for jumping, he's looked bad early on. And that's normal. Like, it takes time for these rookies to adjust and adapt. In this game against the Nets, though, we finally saw some flashes. I think he had like 16 points through 2 quarters and was being aggressive and was kind of the main scorer for the Hornets because LaMelo was hurt. That's what you want to see from the number 2 pick. So I'm going to say it's an overreaction now, simply because it's just too early to actually say, no, this was a great pick. Victor Wembanyama, that's a great pick. Certified no doubter. 2 through 10, though, we just don't have enough answers yet.
Okay. You have to add anything?
No, I think Scott nailed it there.
Okay, this one's for
Thanks,
you.
Christian.
De'Aaron Fox is a top 5 point guard in the NBA.
That is a perfect reaction. Ooh. Perfect reaction because look at what Fox has done in his last 3 games. He's putting up like 30. He's leading the team. He is showing again this year that he can be one of the clutchest players in the NBA. Just a couple nights ago when they were playing the Warriors, he put 22 just in the 4th quarter alone. Like, this guy is a certified bucket getter. No one in this league can stop him. He's too quick. He's too shifty. It's funny, too, because, like, he's left-handed, and he's clearly going to go to his left hand, and people cannot stop him from going to his left hand.
Right.
It's just there's just something about the way he plays that just makes him so squirrely.
Ooh,
he's like
that's a word that Scott's gonna use.
He's like a little worm. Like, he just can't stop him. And then 2, just with Mike Brown's coaching and what Mike Brown demands from De'Aaron Fox, De'Aaron's been stepping it up on the defensive end, and it's just from here on out, we're going to start hearing De'Aaron Fox, potential MVP candidate.
Whoa.
Wow.
Dude, Christian.
Have you guys not heard the media people actually say this?
I've seen like tweets and stuff.
I've seen actual legit media people saying that he's a top 5 MVP candidate this year.
Jeez. I didn't think you were going to bring that to the pod today.
Oh, yeah.
Like
of course
that.
I'm going to bring it to the pod.
I like that.
That's what this podcast is for.
This is what small ball is for.
It is.
It's to shine lights on those little guys.
It is. That's what we're doing.
This is what we do.
This is us.
This is us. Yes. I'm like in this no man's land. If I don't know if it's an overreaction or a perfect reaction. There's just so many great guards in the NBA, and De'Aaron Fox is one of them. So for the sake of small ball and the small ball kingdom, it's a perfect reaction.
That is what I like to see, Scotty. Yeah, I agree. I think the Fox right now is showing that he's up there with those guys. Now, whether or not he's top 5, that's a kind of tough to look at.
It's so subjective.
Yeah, because you got guys like Trae Young who are in that conversation, and like SGA. And why are you laughing, John? Those guys are around the 5 level.
I just feel like whenever you have the opportunity, you just like pitch Trae Young propaganda.
But he's
as in top, like at the number 5 spot.
Like I've never. Like, Trae Young is a fantastic player, and he puts up the stats, but I've never once thought he's a top 5 point guard in this league.
Well, the conversation I've seen a lot is comparing Trae Young to Fox. So that's why I bring it up. And most people are saying that they think Fox is better. I would say Fox is better as well. But I'm just saying you have to think about guys like that.
I would say SGA right now is better.
Yeah. He 2 for 16 last night.
He did, though. Nuggets locked him down. Peyton Watson.
Is that the Peyton Watson effect, or is that just SGA having a bad game?
No, it's just like, even when he's on the bench, it's like, when's Peyton Watson coming in?
It's just like the Heat when they played San Antonio, and it's like that clip of LeBron.
Seeing Kawhi.
LeBron's like at the free throw line, he sees Kawhi check in, he just rolls his eyes.
Yeah, that's Peyton Watson. It's like he's always lurking.
Yeah.
Peyton Watson is always there.
All right, here's another one. We're just watching this team. The Pelicans are a top 5 team in the West. They're 2-0 right now. They are beating what team are they playing right now?
The Warriors.
They're beating the Warriors. They look good. Either of you, take the swing.
I can answer that, Christian.
Go for it.
If you'd like. Give me 1 second, Trev. This is good. This won't be on a reel though, so it doesn't matter. I think it's an overreaction. I think that's an overreaction. Their 2 wins are against the Knicks and the Memphis Grizzlies. Knicks, obviously, decent team last year. The Memphis Grizzlies might be the worst team in the West for the first 25 games of the year, with no Steven Adams and John Morant. The West, I just think, is really deep, and I think the Pelicans are essentially better than play-in, but worse than 5. So I see them as like the 6th best team in the West. So I'm going to say that's going to be an overreaction.
Okay.
I think it's the perfect reaction.
Oh.
But it's contingent on one of BI or Zion being healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, mainly if Zion's healthy, I think they can make it. But BI, he's out again. He's out tonight, and it's like, is this what we're gonna see? Are we never gonna see the full potential of the Pelicans because of their injury past? So it's still early in the season, and I'm just banking on the benefit of the doubt. But I think the Pelicans, they should be a top 5 team in the West.
Yeah, I think with Zion, if he is healthy, yes, Brandon Ingram being there, CJ being there, that's helpful. The biggest thing is Zion. If he's healthy, they are going to be in the conversation. Right. They will make the playoffs.
For sure.
Top 5 team, though, is the question.
It's just hard because, like, CJ has missed time in the last year or 2. Brandon Ingram has missed time, and Zion has missed time. So it's like, how much can you trust these guys that are obsessed with missing time?
Right. Yeah, it's tough. Last one. Victor Wembanyama is going to go down as one of the best players ever. He looks unbelievable. Someone go for it. Someone say it. You know it's true.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say that's a perfect reaction. I'm going to be the one. I'm going to be the one who dies on that hill. The only thing that bars him from landing there are injuries, in my opinion. Defensively, he's probably going to win 3 or 4 Defensive Players of the Year. He's probably going to win a few MVPs. The question is, will he have the team around to win future championships? Who knows? But he does things, and he blocks shots that makes your mouth drop. I mean, he's literally, He's unbelievable. I'm going to stand on that hill. I will die on that hill. This is a Victor Wembanyama podcast.
I agree. I 100% agree. Watching him take over games And every time they're coming down the fourth quarter, they're giving it to Wemby, and he's somehow finding a way to score. Looking at defenders' faces as they try to guard him, the dude, it's hard to really put to words. We have never seen what we are seeing with Victor Wembanyama. It is unbelievable. So I am standing on that hill with Scott, where our arms are locked, and we are in full agreement that he is going to go down as one of the greats.
Podcast moment.
Yeah, I mean, he's with the Spurs, and the Spurs know how to make a great player great. So he's in the right organization. Like you said, Trevor, he's doing things we've never watched before. And as a rookie in his first 2 to 3 games, he's putting up great stats. You know, like you're seeing him struggle. You're seeing him trying to figure it out. And the more he plays and the more muscle he gains, it's going to be really hard to stop him. I'm just worried that he just becomes this insanely freakishly tall human being that just shoots 3-pointers the whole time. And he never develops an actual post game. Porzingis is awesome. We can all agree that Porzingis is a great basketball player.
Great basketball player.
Great. He's great.
But all he does is shoot jump shots. And for a guy who's that tall, he doesn't do that much of the post that you need to see for him to be absolutely dominant. Yeah. And so that's where I'm Wemby's got great talent, but he could easily be a better version of Porzingis. Or he could be Porzingis at his best.
Fair.
Oof. Wemby turning into Porzingis. I mean, that's not bad, but it's
not bad. It's just not one of the best players ever.
No. I mean, yeah, Porzingis will not go down in the Hall of Fame. I think that's a fair take.
That's too early.
No, I think that's...
Well, he's only 28. Yeah.
Overreaction, perfect reaction, perfect reaction. Porzingis will not make it to the Hall of Fame.
We'll have to wait and see.
What if the Celtics win it this year and Porzingis gets MVP, Finals MVP?
Okay, now we're talking.
That's all it takes.
But I don't see that. He has Jason Tatum on his team.
Yeah, but I mean, he has Jason Tatum on his team, but he could
Andre Iguodala had Steph.
Yeah.
Gosh. What? Yeah, they gave Andre Iguodala that MVP because he held LeBron to 34 points.
They almost gave Finals MVP to
LeBron.
So
yeah. That's how good LeBron was.
Also, though, Curry deserved the Finals MVP.
Dude.
What were we even doing?
What a sham to give that to Iggy. Perfect reaction, overreaction, perfect reaction.
Don't take that from Iggy. Don't take that from Iggy.
No. Here's what bothers me. Can I say something?
Go, say it.
It's all yours.
Andre Iguodala was a Nugget for a year. He leaves us to go to the Golden State Warriors. Do you know what the Nuggets did when he retired?
What?
Or not even the Nuggets, but Nuggets fan accounts farewell, Iggy. Thank you for your time. I'm if you're a real Nuggets fan, you hate him. Why are we wishing him farewell? He betrayed us. That's like the rebels wishing Anakin Skywalker rest in peace, Darth Vader. You know, that's wrong.
Yeah, it's just like that, man.
It's just like that.
All right.
Anyways, any other overreactions, perfect reactions?
I got one.
Oh, yeah, go.
Are the Detroit Pistons NBA championship finalists?
Did Andrew say he was going to pay you money? One of our coworkers, he goes, I don't know what he said to you. I'll give him my experience. He goes, Scott, $20 you say the Detroit Pistons play in the NBA finals. I was like, I don't ruin my credibility.
He said $20?
Yeah, he offered me 20.
Offered me 10. And then he goes, wait, actually, what if I just watch all of your content on all your platforms? He's like, I already do that anyways. And I'm like, okay, so then what am I gaining here, man?
That's awesome.
But
here's what I will say. Not even considering that sentence.
You don't have to.
Jalen Duren is amazing. Jalen Duren is amazing, and he's slowly morphing into one of the best centers in the NBA. He has that potential. The dude's... Why are you kind of smirking, laughing at me?
I keep thinking about how we're wearing these shirts.
Oh, okay.
I love this shirt.
Yeah.
It is kind of... it's very breathable.
When you first pulled it out, I thought it was like a biking shirt.
Yeah. No.
Or cyclists. This is a cyclist pod now.
We could bike in this.
Yeah, we can't. Scott, you like how I gave you that one?
Yeah, why'd you give me this one?
Well, just color coordination. It makes sense for the pod. You're in the middle.
Yeah, I'm in the middle. That makes sense. Yeah, go ahead, Trevor.
Anyways, Jalen Duren.
Yes.
Like, dude, the guy is gobbling up rebounds. Let me explain to you. Why are you smirking? 14, 17, and 15 rebounds in the first 3 games. Blocks, 4 blocks, 2 blocks, 2 blocks. And he's scoring decently, 17, 14, and 23. He has looked amazing. When he's on the court, he's making something happen constantly. And he's the perfect center for that team and that young core. I think he's going to continue to develop in Detroit. He's been awesome.
I'm starting to like Detroit a little bit more.
Me too.
You know, I've kind of been iffy on Cade just because he hasn't played a lot in his past 2 seasons. But now that I'm like actually watching him play basketball again, I'm like, yeah, dude, Cade's good.
He is. He's really good. He's high IQ, and the offense goes completely through him. Ivy, like to me, Cade and Duren are the 2 certainties I have on that roster. Yep. Aside from that, there's still question marks with their young core. Ivy has his moments that look good, but he also has games where he is absolutely dog water.
And honestly, that was my fear about Ivy coming into the league. I might even said on the pod, where it's like he is a high volume guy, but he has a lot of games where it's really not impressive because, yeah, like you said, it's complete stinkers.
Well, I think it doesn't help too that, you know, who is he playing or who's he fighting for time? And Asir Thompson, the rookie this year, he's a Mr. Do-It-All. He could do everything. And so, like, you have a player like that, and then kind of like how Jalen Duren is there, is like you have players that are wanting to do everything on the court to play winning basketball. And Jaden Ivey is just a little too rambunctious. He's a little too chaotic, which he's going to learn. He's going to learn how to control his speed and control his tempo. But it's going to be really interesting to see where he fits in, especially if for whatever reason the Pistons still like Killian Hayes. You know, if they want to keep playing that player, you know, and that's eating up Jaden Ivey's time, like who knows what his development could look like.
Yeah, that's all I got on Detroit.
Really quick, Phoenix Suns. Bradley Beal now has missed 3 straight games. It's not even an overreaction, perfect reaction, but if you're a Suns fan, would you start to be a little worried? Obviously, Booker's ankle, he'll probably recover, but if you watch some of the videos of Bradley Beal and shoot around, like he looks very stiff, he looks very sluggish. I don't know. It's early on, but it's kind of a big trade piece you trade for. And if he's got to be dealing with back issues, which we've seen with other guys where it can cost you a season, like that would be a huge blow to the Suns having any chance.
I'm just confused. I'm like, Bradley Beal, he didn't really play much last year. He had all summer. He played a little bit in the preseason. Like, how are you already hurt? Are you not? Of playoff contention, or not playoff contention,
finals.
I'm like, they're not legit. They're not serious to me.
I'd be worried. I don't think that's an overreaction. I think that's a perfect reaction to be worried about Bradley Beal because of the last few seasons. The dude just constantly is hurt. So that is something, if you're a Suns fan, to truly be worried about because the window isn't massive with KD right now. Listen, KD's really good. But again, he has regressed in recent years. We can't pretend like he's still the same guy he was with the Warriors. So I would be worried because the clock's ticking with Phoenix. You still have Booker, obviously. Booker's a stud, and he's young. But Beal, man, figure it out in this year, you know?
He's got it. And I love that point you made about KD because he will have some great nights. He did against LA in the game that they lost, but he wasn't impressive in their opener, and that's going to be what you see. If you keep depending more and more on him, you're going to see more.
They drafted their team. They homegrown. Maybe they signed guys here and there. Maybe they trade for an Aaron Gordon. But then to watch them succeed and win a championship like the Bucks did a few years ago, like the Nuggets did.
Well, even the Warriors.
The Warriors, yeah, before KD. I love that NBA stuff.
Right. I'm curious of like have we seen a team that like did the get rich quick scheme and then kind of win?
Maybe
I mean, the last one is like maybe
Miami.
Yeah, maybe the Heat. But those guys all came over in free agency. It wasn't even like trade.
The Warriors did after they got KD. Cleveland did that. And Miami.
But like Cleveland, I mean, LeBron left and they drafted Kyrie, and then they essentially traded Andrew Wiggins for Kevin Love.
Yeah.
So it's like there was still some,
and
then LeBron came back.
Yeah.
So there's still some homegrownness in there.
No, that doesn't. That to me, that's a shortcut. Yeah. But it's fair. Yeah, go Cavs.
Go Cavs. Respect to Andy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the biggest one you think of is like Miami Heat because you had Wade, but you bring in Bosh and you bring in LeBron. But in recent memory, I don't think there's really any team. The Raptors just got Kawhi.
Right.
Which I say just got Kawhi is obviously the centerpiece, but a lot of those guys were like homegrown, had been there a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Suns, the Nets, some other teams where it's like, I don't know if it really works anymore.
Right.
Which I love.
I love it too.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun seeing how like the mess is blowing up in Philly with James Harden.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they treated their guy wrong in Ben Simmons. Yeah, sure, he should have made that layup or whatever, but it's like you can't blame the game on one play.
Right.
It's
like
ridiculous.
there's so many plays leading up to that moment in the game where they should have scored or they should have stopped someone and they didn't. And they just ultimately lost the game. Like, that's not Ben Simmons' fault. And they blamed it on him, and then they traded away for James Harden, and James Harden hates it. So it's like...
It's beautiful. It's like watching the bully trip.
Poetic justice.
It is. It is justice being served.
It is. What scares me is if they can get Harden away, Sixers are pretty nice. Like Tyrese Maxey, dog. Joel Embiid's still a dog. Tobias Harris is like a nice little role piece to have. But
love Tobias.
Yeah, if they
Tobias over me.
Part of the small ball kingdom, by the way. He's in prison right now.
Yeah, he's in prison. We're gonna free him. We need to free Tobias Harris.
Someone trade for Tobias.
If they got like Zach LaVine or DeMar DeRozan for James Harden, it's like, okay, that would start to scare me a little.
Maybe.
No, I don't. If the Sixers got Zach LaVine or DeMar, nothing changes for me.
Big market bozos.
Yep.
Yeah.
They really are. They're the biggest of bozos in all the big markets. But, all right, guys, I think that concludes another great episode of the Small Ball Podcast. Perfect. All right, for our great producer, I was looking around. I'm like, well, every now and then someone chimes in, but Andy looks good.
Thanks for giving us that moment.
It's all about I respect you guys.
Likewise.
It's a love thing. All right. Well, for our great producer, Andy, Trevor Maitland, and Christian Ennis, I'm Skyers. I say so long for now. And we'll see you next week.
Yeah, I think he just needs to get fatter.